All right, welcome back, OmEn Online. Of course, I'm Adam,
I'm Johnny.
my man Johnny, and our guest today, Ed. He was a radio host, the lunch hour, right?
Lunch Break Live.
Lunch Break Live on
WCHQ.
100.9 WCHQ Crescent Hill Radio. They recently ended as of New Year's. It's a shame, but he is a former radio host. Glad to have you on board.
Glad to be here. Johnny, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. So I hope you enjoy the show, and don't forget, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, hit that little notification bell.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, it's gonna be
Is
great.
that up here or over here?
All right, guys. So it's been an excellent weekend. Having a great time. Johnny, how's your week been?
My week was kind of rough, but my weekend was better. I spent it with my kid.
Oh, that's winning. That's winning.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
I was running behind today because I was making sure he got home and everything.
What about you? Tell us a little about you were a radio host for WCHQ. I bet that was an interesting experience.
It was. I mean, it was a great experience because I don't know if you know this about me. I originally started as a stand-up comic back in 2001. I've been sort of on and off with that for.
Was that pre 9/11?
That was pre 9/11. Yeah. In fact, I still remember the day that 9/11 happened and how the owner of the club called off shows for that night. Told everybody, look, you all need to be home. You need to be with your families. Don't worry about doing this tonight. And it's, you remember those days. It took a while to get things back on track.
Yeah, I know.
Right. I do remember you telling me you were actually emceeing or hosting or something for the comedy club at times.
I wish I could tell you I was doing more with them. Like, I don't know if they like me.
Oh wow!
I don't know if they like me.
That's a shame. You're a great guy. You're very likable.
I kind of have, at the moment, what I would call a fractured relationship with them, and it's kind of hard for me to go around them because we're gonna start fighting.
Right.
So.
Right. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we've all had circumstances like that where we just needed a break because it was conflict no matter what.
So the involvement with the radio station came up about 10 years later in 2011. Crescent Hill Radio started as an online internet streaming station, founded by Kathy Weisbach. And hi, Kathy. She had this great idea. She had this great idea when she launched this station because her original intent was to get music from her band out there because she was a frustrated musician herself.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted a place to put her music out there, and then all of a sudden she started getting submissions from other bands all throughout the city, all throughout the region, saying, "Hey, here's our stuff. Would you play ours?" And next thing you know, she applied for an AM license. Got that right away. We moved over to 1080, I think it was 1080 AM, and we stayed there for a couple of years. And then about 2014, 2015, President Obama passed a piece of legislation that would allow for smaller, low-power FM radio stations to open on the FM band alongside the mainstream players.
Right.
And yeah, as soon as he passed that bill, she was pretty much like first in line to apply for that license and got that right away. So
this is I'm getting. I can't blame him.
So we made the leap from being a small AM station, and we moved up to FM, and along with that came a move of location. We started on Frankfurt Avenue,
Mm-hmm.
and then we moved over to Melwood Avenue.
Hey,
Right down the
I used to
road.
live right by Melwood.
Yeah. So you know where Bob Collette's auto?
Yeah. Are you talking about that building that had all the letters on it for a radio station?
Yeah.
Oh, I used to pass by that all the time. It's right over there by Crazy Daisy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, that was us.
I lived over there up until October.
Yeah, you see that.
Wow.
Right down the street on Lindsay.
And that was us. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay, I was always passing by there going, I wonder what they play, and just never
All
really
local
changed.
music all the time.
Well, see, I wish I would have known that because
Yeah.
I would have been up on that because there's a lot of old school local bands I wish I could listen to still. Like, because I've been in the music scene around here for over 20 years now. Like, I played in it for a while, but I stopped playing with other bands just because it just got too much of a hassle. So I just stopped playing with them. I was like, I'll just play for myself for fun.
Right.
And like, but I've been doing music in this town, like with people or just hanging out with them for, like I said, 20 years or more now. And
he probably knows a lot of the bands that we were playing.
Yeah,
Probably.
Johnny actually introduced me to a lot of the local artists I've come to know of. You know what I'm saying?
And you know Jason William Allen then.
Of course, yeah.
He was our 13th episode guest. We specifically saved him for episode 13.
Yeah,
Because we know that I know that that's like me, that's one of his favorite numbers is 13.
And his band Poetry of the Dead, we were playing them a lot. And,
I own all their shit. I even own one with Misery.
Another local band he introduced me to. I don't know if you ever heard of Artificial Zero. He took me to Main Street Lounge when it was still had that
Friday night goth night.
Yeah, they still had that goth night. I remember him walking up in there full chainmail.
Chainmail, kilt, fucking just. I didn't give a shit. I just went however I wanted to go.
Hey, that's it.
I wasn't
Be
like
you.
I've dressed goth back in the day, but even then I didn't really dress goth. I just went because they had good music playing and the alcohol was cheap and there was good people there.
Right.
That's all you really need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, $2 wells. Who the fuck can't beat that? I'd go with $20 on a Friday night, and I might even leave with the $2 or $4. You know what I'm saying? And be tore up.
Right.
So it was worth it.
The night I went, like I said, the Artificial Zero, they had NVIDIA. NVIDIA's their lead singer, right?
Was at the time, yeah.
At the time, and they had a special drink with her name. You know what I'm saying? The NVIDIA or something like that. I remember drinking. That was a rough night.
Yeah, that was a rough night.
Oh man!
But my cousin was their original bass player of the band. So, and I ended up getting to know, the drummer, which is the guy who actually originally started the band back in the day. I'm talking. This is I want to say mid to early '90s when they started, maybe.
Right.
And I know that. The drummer, he's still making music out of his house and stuff. He's damn good with all of his shit for real. Justin Hall, you might know who he is.
I don't think I've heard of him.
You probably have, because you've been at the flea market for a long time. 'Cause I know they played Expo 5 once when y'all had some big rock show going on there. It was like 2 or 3 days long or some shit. They were on the bill for one of them. Because I remember seeing... They weren't cages really on the sides of the stage. They were more like the clear opaque wall. Not really clear, but just enough transparency to them where you could see shadows through them and stuff.
Yeah.
And there were chicks dancing in them and stuff. It was pretty cool.
That's awesome. So speaking of, why don't they have shows there anymore? Not as many anyway.
I'm not certain. I mean, it was actually a question I would ask a lot of bands that would come through the radio station, because in addition to playing local music, we would have local artists actually come into the studio and play live on certain shows.
That's awesome.
And that became a question that I would ask a lot of local musicians. Because back in my day, we had a lot of bands that would play out, but a lot of them were mostly cover bands, and that became irritating. I'm just like, God, how many bands really know how to play Blistering in the Sun? This is impossible. So I would ask I did have the question to the bands saying, is the label music scene becoming a bit more open to the artists that do original music now instead of just this one cover band after another thing? It's like I thought for a long time that whenever a band goes to a venue, that they were given some sort of playlist by the owners of the club or something, and they would just say, "Learn these songs, and this is your set."
Well, I know back in the day, Phoenix Hill, like when they had the bands playing there, a lot of times they wanted nothing but cover music because they wanted stuff people knew and were going to dance to and drink to and shit like that. But like nowadays, I haven't really seen too many cover bands in a while. And me personally, I don't care for cover bands. Like, not that they're a bad thing because every band's got to know some type of covers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I
Because
mean, it's good for it is good for bands to know covers. I mean, quite frankly, a lot of the bands that we had come play, I mean, they had covers in their set, but just like sprinkled in. They didn't have like a full set that was just all.
yeah, exactly.
Well, a lot of your mainstream bands do covers and variations of songs too. So that's far from unheard of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like Artificial Zero. They took Britney Spears' "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," and they changed it to the only lyrics they changed in the whole song, but without the industrial rock feel to it, is what it was. But it had an industrial rock feel to it. But the only words they changed in the whole song were instead of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," it was "Fuck Me, Baby, One More Time." It was pretty good because, like, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I was thinking, like, oh god, they're doing a freaking Britney Spears cover. I'm like, how could my cousin let this happen? Then all of a sudden, boom! I was like, I like it.
Right.
Much better.
Now you're talking about Chuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck was actually our first guest on the show. The cousin he's talking about. If you watch back to episode like 3 or 2,
Yeah, I'm going to
something
say
like that.
3
Yeah,
because I think our first 2 episodes were done in your garage.
the first one was in the garage, I know for sure. And
Yeah.
just seeing the progress we've done with the equipment and the layout, it's a big difference in a short time. So it's been awesome. It's been a journey, learning experience too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Much like working in a radio station. Right?
Exactly.
Right. I mean, if you were a comedian and you go straight to DJ and we were talking just a second ago, you had to learn a lot of the equipment and stuff like that. So it's definitely a learning experience, and that's a good thing to point out. You never stop learning, no matter where you're at in life. You never stop learning new things.
You see, it's also just the fact that DJ for me was always the first thing because when I was a kid, that's all I really wanted to do was like be a radio DJ. It wasn't until I was like 22 years old that I even started doing stand-up comedy, and even through doing stand-up, I found my way into a radio station and started and admittedly for like the first 4 or 5 years. I was mostly just like the weekly host of a talk comedy radio show,
Right.
which is only on for 30 minutes a week.
Mhm.
And then once the first opportunity came up to add DJs to the station, I was the first one raising my hand. Go, oh, maybe. I always wanted to, and then it became a thing of where I enjoyed that more than doing this talk show, and I eventually let that go. So I basically traded in 30 minutes of talk time a week for 2 hours a day, 4 days a week.
That's awesome. That's
That
awesome.
is
That was
good.
worth it. That's a good trade.
That is pretty good
And
trade.
then,
Good trade. Good trade.
yeah, good trade. And
I'll show you how to slow.
and because of the fact that I was probably the most, I still think it's funny. Like I was probably the most unqualified person to ever be a DJ on a station that would play local music because I had no idea what was out there. But when you're a DJ on a station like this, you learn really quick
Right.
who's out there, and then you have your favorites. Shout out to Banshee Child, Julius, Goodnight Carnage, SWP. I mean, so many of these bands. Mark Jackson's band Overload. I mean, I had there were so many bands that
I just realized he was wearing an overload
yeah,
shirt.
yes I am. I'm wearing this shirt right now. This is
That's a nice cock you have on there.
Hold on, let's get it.
Yeah, this is the latest band shirt for Mark's band Overload.
Nice.
So
Awesome.
But you learn you learn real quick about who's out there, and you get all your favorites, and next thing you know, people like dude Ryan Sanders. Shout out to him. He's from a band called Figure Eight, based out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky.
Man, that's
And
real.
yeah, he's this is like a proud story that I get to carry with me. Is the fact that up until the point that we started playing his band on the station, his band had actually been inactive for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he heard his music being played on our station. He told me he damn near ran his car off the road. and he was on the phone with his drummer like the next day, going like, "Dude, we gotta get back into the studio because there's a station out of Louisville playing our music now."
Awesome.
And they went back in the studio. They recorded a whole new CD, and that's out now. So
It's nice.
I'm actually, that's another one I'm trying to get on the show. The scheduling conflict's been a little hard, but if you've ever heard of, why can't I think of it? I just went brain dead.
Brain fart.
Slowkill. I know. Well, I've met quite a few members of Slowkill. I went and seen them at the Tim Faulkner Art Gallery.
yeah.
But I know one of the guitarists, and I've been trying to get him on the show. He actually doesn't live far away from here. So hopefully that will happen. You know, he wants to promote a lot of his poetry and stuff now. So I'm hoping to get him on the
That's
show in the
cool
near
with me.
future.
I like good poetry.
Oh, definitely.
But then again, music is poetry in itself.
It is. It's just poetry to
set to music.
Yeah, that's it.
That's basically what people write as lyrics, right? I mean, that's
Pretty much.
poetry.
I mean, that's how I look at it.
Poetry and haiku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be more like a haiku because it's not direct rhyme to rhyme like we would standardize poetry. So yeah, that makes sense. What if you don't mind me asking, what kind of caused the downfall of the radio station?
The downfall of the radio station was basically caused by what brings any other business to its knees.
Lack of customers.
Lack of money.
Right.
Lack of money, lack of funds. Basically, in our final months, we didn't get a whole lot of sponsorship and donation money because we were a 501c3. We're a nonprofit organization. We relied on individual donations and on sponsorship money, underwriters, and there was a lack of that. And
I feel like there might have been a lack of advertising too, though, because
but if he's not for profit, they can't just sell advertising to.
No, I'm not talking about the customers. I'm like of the station itself. Because no offense, I found out that was the building I was going past. I really didn't know what they played on that station. I didn't really heard of it.
And that's not an unheard of thing. Because there were a lot of people who didn't know what we were. I mean, basically our listenership were the bands. I mean, that was the only people really listening to us. I think were mostly the bands, their friends, and maybe.
You would think that they would push it out there since they're getting played on there. They would help promote it, though.
Right.
And so that's something I would put out to them, like, hey, will y'all help promote this since we're playing you all and promoting you ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
All you got to do is say, hey, check us out on this station.
Well, that's what I call a lead a horse to water situation.
Yeah, I know.
Right. It's getting people to advertise themselves is actually a lot
more difficult than you think.
And I mean, considering that a lot of musicians, you probably know this from talking to a lot of the musicians here, is a lot of them sort of have that kind of like introverted personality, and they're not really gonna put themselves out there that much. I mean, I know that they want to. They want to be out there. They have the desire to be heard. But as far as like getting people into the studio and on a microphone, sometimes it's hard to get these people to vocalize. If they're just sitting in the studio.
It's true. I've had trouble even when we've done some of these interviews. It's getting some of the people to talk a little bit takes a little bit sometimes.
When I would, well, you see, when I did my weekly talk show, uh, it wasn't local musicians I was talking to, but it would be stand-up comics, and it was the most fascinating thing that I'd ever see, during my time in that studio, which is you get these people who, if you get them up on a stage in front of an audience with a microphone in their hand, you can't get them to shut up.
Right.
But
Right.
you get them into a studio where there's no audience aside of me and my co-host. They didn't really know what to do.
It's like single words, yeah. Uh-huh.
Because I know a few stand-up comics in town.
And I would know, 2 minutes into an interview that we had a dead fish on our hands.
Well, and that's another skill. You got to be able to try to drag it out on for a second. I mean, there's a point where you just like it's not going to happen. But as a host, you got to be able to lead the conversation in a direction. You know, so it's definitely a skill. It's something me and Johnny have had to learn. Almost.
And you guys are doing a great job at it, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even show hosts sometimes won't really know where to veer the direction to. Especially like I always considered myself to be sort of a hazard when it came to bringing in interview guests because I don't write stuff down. I don't have a preset set of questions.
Right.
Neither do
Neither
we.
do we.
Yeah,
No.
so I would just kind of like fly by the seat of my pants, but as it turns out, it seemed like it was a lot easier to get a musical artist in the studio and talk about what they're doing, but a comic that seemed a lot more difficult. That you'd have to kind of like press the pause button a second and go, look, dude,
I need you to open up a little bit.
Yeah, you got to say something.
This is radio. They can't see you. This is radio.
We've actually tried to have set questions for interviews before, and I've actually just tossed those shows out because it seemed so unnatural. And that's the thing I want to go for. I want it to be natural. I want the conversation to just flow out, and to get who you are, and I'm not. Well, let me ask this question. It's like, let me get this bland answer. Let me ask this bland question. Let me get this bland answer.
You see,
Do you know where I just came from?
You see, and also the thing is, I mean, this is what I liked about the fact that I wouldn't write anything down or have a preset list of questions. Is that just like you're doing here, is that you can branch out. You can have a question, but then the answer will branch out to another question.
Right.
Another answer branches out to another. So that's
you just follow the trail wherever it leads.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's awesome. I think it's a lot of fun too.
It usually works out better for us. A lot better.
That's
You
great.
have to have like your own little, process of elimination on that. It's like, okay, what works better for me? It's like
Everyone's
should I
different.
be rehearsed or should I just kind of like fly by the seat of my pants?
Yeah, it's exactly right. Some people actually need more direction than others. You are exactly right.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I think we tend to work very well together.
Yeah,
But we have always got our go-tos. We've always got our go-tos. Stuff's getting bland, shit's getting cold. What do you think about aliens?
or ghosts, shit like that.
Ghosts, yeah. All right, just take it off to some weird topic.
I have
And
opinions on both, but I will let you naturally get there. So.
A lot of people have strong opinions about different things, and all it takes is that one out-of-place question, and all of a sudden they're on a tangent.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, we had a guy one time, we asked him that question. He wasn't really talking too much, but then we asked him one of those questions, and he just went on. It was like, okay, that works. We just sat here quiet watching him, and we're like, y'all can talk if you want. We're listening to you.
Yeah, I mean, it is magic when it happens. You're like, all right, I've got a show. Here we go.
Right. But you said you had opinions on both of those. Now, I got a friend who's actually shooting a kind of ghost hunter style show, a paranormal investigation.
Yeah, they just did Waverly last night.
They just did Waverly last
Well,
night.
we worked there during the haunt season, so he works for compensation this year, so he got like tickets were working instead of
Okay.
paid.
Right. If we haven't told you, me and Johnny have both been haunted house actors, and we've got a lot of friends who are haunted actors as well.
I still am.
Right. I haven't done it for a few years because my weekends are fairly well occupied. occupied.
Oh, on the 15th of February, do you want to work one night from 8 till midnight?
I can't the 15th of February because I asked somebody to go with me.
Oh, so you're going there.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I will see you at the blind date from hell. Don't worry, I'll make.
He can't work it because he's actually going.
I enjoy going through them because a lot of the actors know me and I get to see their performance, but I'm not one of those that are just afraid or trying to be scared. I'm going through it. I'm partying with the actors. You know what I'm saying?
I loved it. Like he brought his daughter through this year
Yes.
for the Christmas one that we did over at Malice Manor with them.
Yeah.
And I swear, man. Oh, his daughter apparently says she's gonna get me.
Yeah. So we go through now. My daughter's a cosplayer, right? She loves doing cosplay, lots of different costumes. But we go through, and at first she's like, "Dad, I'm scared. I don't know. I'm scared." I was like, "Hold up. Now, you know you do cosplay." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is just scary cosplay," and she goes, "You're right."
Clicked in her head.
And bam, she's right there with me. We're having fun.
Oh yeah, I watched her from one area of the haunted house because where my hiding spot was at the very end, where I got them at the very end. I was going around and watching from different rooms, watching them come. I was like, I know who that is. It's on.
Right.
Anything I do, I also myself have connections in that arena because the good people at Devil's Attic, I've been friends with them for years.
Right, Jason Attic. Well, no, that's not his last
Jason
name.
Jason Beesman himself. Shout out to Jason Beesman. He's the owner of the Devil's Attic.
Did not know that was his last name.
I actually found out through him, and I've met the guy quite a few times.
Well, I didn't think Attic was actually his last name.
No, that's just his Facebook name.
Right.
Yeah.
And also Todd Merriman, who is a very good friend of mine, a stand-up comic, came here from Cap City Comedy Club down in Texas, and he's currently a New Albany resident. He lives at New Albany, and he is also the devil himself.
That's who played. Okay.
So, right.
See, I never know who played him. I just know that he looked cool and does a really good job.
Todd, man, from the first time that I ever saw him at a mic, I was just like, why are you doing open mics? I was like, because from day one, I was just like, this guy is so much more talented. He's so much better than most of the other people that I'm seeing here tonight.
Right.
I'm just like, so I started talking to him right away, and then eventually started booking us gigs in different rooms. There's one show in particular we did in Evansville, Indiana, which is legendary now because there's a Friday and a Saturday night show. The Friday first show got canceled out of lack of interest, basically. There's just there's nobody there. And then the second show on Friday night, we got a crowd and they hated us. And I was still yet to even talk to the club owner about our hotel reservation. Because I seriously thought he was gonna look at me and go, sleep out in your fucking car. But we and what was so fun about that, or what I remember being fun about it was, that whole entire day at the hotel before the next show on Saturday night. There were three different, because there was me, there was Todd, and our buddy Tony, and there were three different processes that were going on during that entire afternoon. Tony is basically kind of sequestering himself in his part of the room, just kind of mentally going over his set, just kind of, just going over every joke that he has and, making sure that he's got his stuff down. Me, I'm going through a notebook just manically, just writing different variations on jokes, or taking things out, putting things in, trying to switch up my set list. And Todd is sitting on a bed reading a novel, and he couldn't give a shit.
Right.
he was. He was just like, hey, those are some of my best jokes, and they just like and fuck them. So, well, we ended up rocking it like that second night, so it was a learning experience for us all.
Right.
You're not always going to have
See,
a good show.
And I like how you were talking about having the different variations of the same joke, because you got to be able to adapt to the audience. You got to be able to read your crowd. Just like when we were working the haunt, you have to be able to read the people coming through to understand what kind of performance you needed to put on. So in the same way, you had to read the people and adapt and adjust your performance, and you came out prepared to adjust depending on how things turned out.
Well, because I historically don't do well in Indiana. This is just my history. I don't do well. I do well in Kentucky. I do well in Ohio. I do not do well in Indiana for some reason.
So out of the tri-states, you only got the bi-states.
Yeah, yeah. I think I might be a bit too liberal for Indiana. I think. I don't know.
Probably. I feel like over here is a little bit different, funny-wise, as from over in Kentucky where I live. Like, because I've noticed that a lot of people I talk to over here don't have as good of a sense of humor, it seems. Not all of them.
And that is such a
I just see
relief
it
for
more
me.
far in between. You have a pretty good sense.
No, but that is such a relief for me to hear. I'm just like, okay, it really isn't me. Oh my god.
But like, I mean, there are people over here that, yeah, they understand comedy. They know it's a joke, shit like that. But it's not as many as you go to the other states. They sit there and they fucking laugh their asses off the shit you're telling them because they know how to take a joke.
Right.
You
I
know.
can see that. We are. I mean, we are in the Bible Belt, but the Indiana side of the river.
Yeah,
I put extra syllables in words, man, so it's cool.
Well,
The Indiana side of the river.
Ripper.
We don't have a sense of humor that we know of.
That my countryside coming out a little bit, back from out in the barn in the field. But no, over here in the Indiana side, we have a little bit more, it seems. Well, I wouldn't say we have more of the religious side. We have less of the other side, because I've met plenty of religious people. I actually went to Catholic school in Kentucky, so it is over there too. But
boy, I'm glad I
there's
never went to Catholic
less
school.
of the inner city style and less of that flow that goes through the community. So I can completely understand where y'all are coming from. Having had friends on both sides of the river. But the dogs keep interrupting me.
Say ripper. Say it right. Say ripper.
Say reaver.
Reaver. Don't
Say
mind
the
the
reaver.
river or the dogs, man. The dogs out in the yard.
Come here, doggies.
It kind of
They're
reminds
on one today. This is
It kind of reminds me of that comedian. I cannot remember his name offhand, but his special's called Metro Jethro. And it is hilarious because he's like, you live in a small town.
Now, John,
When they say they got a ripper.
If you could keep it rolling for a second, I think I'm going to get some cookies for the baby.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
rolling.
Johnny, just keep it rolling. What you got for me?
Well, legally, my name's John Wayne. Legally.
John Wayne.
Yeah. So,
Was it mom or dad who named you?
Mom and dad. But I was actually named after two different people. My dad's best friend's name was John. And it was, actually his name was Johnny, which that's why everyone calls me Johnny, is because my name was supposed to be Johnny, but when they filed the paperwork for Social Security when I was a baby, they put it down as John. So it's John Wayne legally, but everyone just calls me Johnny.
But everybody just calls him the Duke.
Not really, but my dad's best friend's name was Johnny. My mom, I don't remember exactly, but I think she came up with Wayne, but I'm not sure. And then my other middle name was my step-grandpa's first name. And so I'm actually a combination of three different names to get four if you count my last name. but I figured my dad had to give me a cool name anyway since his name was Gaylord. And that is not a joke. I actually have it tattooed right here.
But I mean, it seems funny how there are like certain names that sort of stick out in families, and they sort of like follow the people in those families around.
Well, the Gaylord. See, my dad was adopted. He was adopted back in the early 50s. He was born in 53 or 52. I want to say 53. And the people that adopted him were already in their 50s. So they didn't think anything about the name when they put it out to them. That was a normal name in the time they were growing up. Well, as we all know, I had a lady when I was going to have my son almost 8 years ago. She was asking me, "You gonna name it after your daddy?" And I was like, "No." She's like, "Why not? Most people would." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I'm not naming my kid Gaylord because in these times he's gonna get beat up
Yeah.
and made fun of for having that name."
That's when you name him Greg Fokker.
Well, my last name's Rising, so Gaylord Rising.
Oh God.
And then I'm John Wayne Rising. I feel like I have a porn star cowboy name.
And you know what's crazy? Your name sounds like a Western show influenced, right, John Wayne?
Yeah.
Right? My name is Western show influenced, and you wouldn't know it.
Yeah.
Really?
My middle name is Shane. Have you ever heard of Shane?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine.
It's Shane is a TV show from back in the day, Western, maybe
Bonanza?
movie. It might have been movie. No, it's actually Shane.
Oh, okay.
Shane.
Let's
I've got the
see.
book. I got the book one year for Christmas, just as a little thing. But it was a show my mom liked, so she called me Shane.
Well, it's like in my family, it was the name Ed that sort of like followed the family around. It's like,
Right?
my father was Ed, my grandfather was Ed, my mom's uncle was Ed. So it's like I sort of get him on that because they gave me that name out of grandfather, father, uncle.
Right. Were you
All
first
all
born?
having the same name.
Were you first born?
Third.
Third, and you still got the name. That's
Well, it's
different.
because I have two sisters.
Right.
Yeah.
See, my grandfather was Charles, and my brother's older brother, the firstborn, was Charles, but he went by Jay for Junior. And my dad was secondborn. He's Brian. Well, his firstborn, my brother, is Brian. And I don't know. I kept the middle name. My son's middle name is Shane, but yeah, his first name's completely
You
different.
see,
I like that though. It sounds cool
But that
together.
next generation will
Malachi
have
Shane.
Shane. Yeah, that next generation will have Shane
Right.
following them around.
Right.
And most people don't realize too. Most of your last names actually come from back in the old days when people were like trying to figure out how to tell each other apart in a way. They used to go by like what they did for a living.
You know what my name stands for, my last name? Crowder, right?
Right.
It was someone who plays the crowd, which was like a lute.
I think it just means this.
Oh,
Crowding.
No, I mean, I actually there's a joke that I have recently written in my set because my last name is actually Snyder. And I've been trying to use it more in my set, just referring because I went by Ed Black for like the longest time as a stage name because I don't like my last name. So I started trying to go by my actual last name, which is Snyder, S-N-Y-D-E-R, and
Like the expressway.
right, like Gene Snyder. And I started working this into my set, talking about those old times. People used to have the last names based on what they did. Baker baked bread, cobbler made fixed shoes. It's like I'm pretty sure Snyder stood in the background and said really passive comments on his craft.
wow.
That Baker thinks he's so smart. Sliced bread idea will never catch on.
That's great. That's a good way to work it in, too. That's awesome.
And it's kind of like with the last name thing, too. Like when the slaves were freed, too, a lot of them got their last names from their owners or something that they did or went on to do. Most of the times it was usually the last names of their owners. That's why you find a lot of African Americans with names that you're sitting here like, well, how did you end up with that last name? You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, okay, I see people over here, but if you read the history books, those people never came together, and
It's from their master Andrew Jackson.
yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
It's just crazy times, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think throughout history, especially in more recent history, we've seen more conflict and division than anything else. Where if you actually go back, you look at the paintings on the walls in ancient Egypt, they had all different colors, they had different dresses, different styles, and they all worked together. And they were all a society. You know what I'm saying? And then later, they started identifying as. And I look at it this way, all right? When you go to fight a war with someone, right? The first thing you do to get your populace on board with you is give them a reason to not like them. You start putting out slanderous names.
Propaganda.
Think propaganda. Think like when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. First thing we did is we put Japanese in internment camps, and we gave them slanderous names, started talking about their eyes when they've been a member of American community for many years at that point, you know? And it turned the populace against them. Well, backfire, there's people that become racist against them.
And that's how, racism continues to breed through the country.
And it's a shame. And that's a crazy thing because you hear a lot of people talk about how racism is resurfacing nowadays.
It never left.
It's something completely different. It's actually racism is on a fall. Statistically, it's gone way down, but it's in the media a lot more.
Yeah. Well, it's the same curve as when they tell you how crime rates in cities have actually gone down, but the coverage of crime on the news has gone up.
Right.
In fact, it's gone.
I believe Anchorman had it right. When he was sitting there saying, they only had news at certain times. But then all of a sudden they started showing all the car chases and all this and that they didn't used to show, and people paid more attention.
Yeah.
Because if you haven't noticed, people like to see something bad happen more than they do something good half the time.
Oh yeah, well, it's the old the old saying that in the newsroom, which is if it bleeds, it leads. So what are they going to talk about more on the news to get eyes on the TV sets? They're going to talk about every bloody, disgusting thing that happened. When do they actually talk about the good thing that happened? They save that for the last report before they go off the air, don't they?
Right.
Because a puppy being saved from a well, that's not going to grab too much attention.
It used to.
Yeah, but you take that down to the smallest possible scale. You see somebody slip on a banana peel, who doesn't laugh? You go, "Are you okay?" "Oh my God, that was funny." Even the nicest people, "Are you okay?" first,
and then they'll laugh at you.
That was hilarious, man.
No, actually, it's the other way. We're gonna laugh first, and then go, "Oh my God, are you okay?"
It depends for me. Depends a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes you're laughing while you're asking.
Are you okay?
I don't mean to laugh at you, man. That was just funny.
But it's the same kind of example. That's what entertains people. People love TV drama. That's why shows like
The Kardashians,
Jersey Shore,
yeah,
and all these. You know what I'm saying? People love drama TV. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, they do. And that's why we now have 24-hour news cycles, because you have to have that stuff on TV at all hours of the day. And it's something that's been like really up my crawl lately about the fact that your local news channels. You now have you have the morning news, You have the afternoon news. Now you have a 4 o'clock news, a 5 o'clock news, a 6 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock.
You're right.
How much
You're
damn
right.
news do you need?
But at the same time, the local news, they're losing a lot of their audience to modernization like cable TV and streaming
They're
services.
losing a lot of my audience ship because as soon as I see the news come on at 4 or 5, I'm switching over to my Fire Stick.
You're right. But you notice a lot of local stations now play old reruns. Not many have any new shows because all the new current shows are really going to places like HBO, Netflix, even streaming services. And now we got like 20 different streaming services.
And
let's pay for Disney. Let's pay for Netflix. Let's pay for Hulu. You know,
I mean, I got Netflix and Hulu. I wanted Disney Plus, but I'm gonna wait. But then I hear ABC's coming out with this one streaming service they're trying to put together called Peacock.
Here's what I don't get. Why don't they have a type of agreement, right? Where, all right, these are our clients.
That's going to be the next step after they have so many streaming services that people don't want to subscribe to. Like right now, I only do Netflix and Hulu on top of other apps that I have.
Right.
And that's all I really want for right now. Now, you might have to wait like another 2 or 3 years to see how many streaming services actually pop up before they go, okay, you know what?
This is getting a little ridiculous.
Yeah,
Some
people
of us
are not
aren't.
going to go for all this. Like, we need to have these 4 come to an agreement together that they're going to bundle themselves into one price.
Well, I'll tell you
Maybe
right
not
now.
even bundle. It's like, hey, I've got clients, you've got clients. Pay me a little bit, you get my shows. I'll pay you a little bit to get your show. Or we do a trade, you know. And eventually you'll have like Charter Cable, Spectrum Cable. They're all accessing the same internet, but you're going through a different company. So then it'll be marketing your company to get all the channels, and that should be the way it goes.
And that's why I'm telling you people right now, don't do this stuff right now. Wait a few years. See if they come up with bundle packages. Don't go for all this right now. Wait.
They're going to have to, because if not, some of them aren't going to be getting enough business coming in to stay open.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to start partnering up.
Well,
like you said, bundle together.
That's like the internet when it first got big. You got what's called the .com bubble. Everybody had a web business. Everybody had a web page. Hell, I was 15 and had 5 web pages that were junk nothing. You know what I'm saying?
It didn't take too long for that bubble to burst.
Yeah. Eventually, it just went pow, and then you got the majors that they dropped down for a long time, but they were big enough to survive Google, Amazon. Just like Amazon used to only sell books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only sell books.
And now Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the country. I mean, I think
he's on track to be the richest, the first trillionaire in the world.
Is he worth more than Mark Zuckerberg now?
Yeah, I believe so, because Mark Zuckerberg, if I remember correctly, has gone to a point where they started giving away a lot of their money to like charities, I think. Him and his wife, their Zuckerberg Chan thing or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, he's
kind of like what's his name? IBM PC. Bill Gates. Bill Gates. They got the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yeah. Steve Jobs. I'm sure he's got something. They all do. It's not only helping people; it's a tax write-off at the same time. I mean, it's a win-win.
Help people and help yourself at the same time.
Right. Right.
That's the whole process.
Oh man!
Yeah, so don't buy all these right away. But wait for them to bundle up because they're going to. They're going to have to.
They're going to have to.
They're going to have to at some point.
Yeah.
What average person on a minimum wage, and we already know minimum wage cannot afford basic living anywhere in the country. No. Who on minimum wage is going to have 20 streaming services?
Not me. Shit. I make just a little over minimum wage, and I'll tell you right now, I've only got 2 streaming services. And even that right there, I have them because, well, they put on a lot of shows I like. They have shows on them that I love to watch. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would love to have the Disney Plus, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and keep paying for all these different streaming services.
Right. Just think of how much per year that actually costs you. Let's say Netflix, I think it's like $15 or something like that a month.
Well, actually, Netflix.
I think mine's like 12 or
Netflix has
13.
different tiers. Like mine would only be like $9.
I think mine's a little more because I needed extra devices to stream on at the same time.
Right.
See, at the time, I had already subscribed to Hulu, so I'm already paying like $12.99 for the no commercial package.
Oh, see, I didn't do that.
So I started looking at that and just like I started seeing Netflix running their ads or running specials and stuff, and I was like, well, they're offering like $7.99 package. Like I might as well just well, I'm already got Hulu. I'm gonna go ahead and spend the other $8 for Netflix, call it an even 20.
Right.
Then I have 2 streaming services, so I have a lot more to choose from.
Now, I'll tell you something else. A lot of companies are going to use these kind of things for advertisement too. Because I've got this. I told you a little bit. I'm into cryptocurrencies before we started recording. There's this company called Crypto.com, and they have the MCO card. Which allows you to save, draw interest on your cryptocurrencies and spend them and all that. Anyway, if you have a certain tier of their card, you get free Netflix and free Hulu. Well, you actually pay for it with the card, and they pay you back. But that's part of their advertisement. It's like, if you invest this much into our card, if your account is this big, and we give you the better card, you get free streaming services. Well, then you're going to have more streaming services. But again, that's to the people who actually have money to invest. And that's still above your average person on minimum wage or a little more than minimum wage. That's still to people beyond the norm.
So this actually plays into something that I'm kind of annoyed by too. We're going to be talking about some of my annoyances here, which is rewards culture. That's what that sort of plays into, right? Rewards culture thing. I am so over rewards cards and reward pad. I don't know why every business now feels a need to have a rewards card.
And it's crazy because, like, say for instance, Kroger. I used to work at Kroger when they first got the cards.
Yeah.
And they keep track of you.
You were probably there around the same time I was. Because I realized what they were doing.
Right.
I went to their office and I said, I know what you're fucking doing. It's like the plus card price. That's the price that people were paying anyway.
Right.
It's like you're raising the prices.
They're tracking you. Tracking what you purchase, they raise the prices and then give you a discount. And the people that don't want the card, well, they're paying the higher price, so they're making a higher profit. So you're getting the same exact price to be tracked, to have your purchases tracked, and anybody else who doesn't want to be tracked has to pay more.
I was a cashier there at the time when we started doing it. And I'm pretty sure you know that when you're a cashier, you scan these things on a daily basis.
Yes.
You know what a bunch of bananas, you know what a gallon of milk costs, because you see it every freaking day. But once the plus card was introduced, I started noticing that when people would come up to swipe their card, that what they're paying for that gallon of milk, that they would have been paying for anyway.
But
they weren't getting a discount.
Right. And that actually ties into something else I've seen. It's perceived value. They make you think that the card has a value, therefore you're excited to use it. Just like Starbucks coffee. You perceive that their coffee is some sort of extremely special coffee, so you pay $15 a cup for it. Oh my God, I could never pay that much for coffee.
I don't drink coffee, so there ain't no point.
Yeah.
But
I'm with them.
I'll drink it. I drink it just 2 days a week on my work days. I drink it in the morning because I got to be up to do my job. But other than that, it's some people thrive off of their caffeine, but who would spend $15 a day $15 a day for a cup of coffee every morning.
That ain't gonna happen.
Your grande mocha latte Java super espresso double
Low fat skim milk latte,
Oh,
banana
hell
rama
no.
jamma.
Oh hell no! Give me a cup of coffee in pot. I'll put some flavored creamer in it, something like that. You know, there's no reason, but people perceive that it has value. That's getting back to what it is. Perceive that it has value. Kind of like America. Some car companies, luxury brands, only exist in America because Americans will perceive a badge of luxury as worth more money. Acura, for instance, I love my Hondas. All right, Acura has, let's say, the Acura RSX. So it's gone now, but they used to have it. I used to have one. But the Acura RSX, everywhere else in the world, is the Honda Integra. The Acura TSX, everywhere else in the world, was the Accord Type R. They badge it down, they badge it up to come to America because Americans will pay more for
Of
it.
course.
Frickin' Nissan does it with Infiniti. Toyota does it with Lexus. These luxury brands just don't truly exist outside of America because America will pay the extra amount for a name brand.
This is true.
Yeah.
I seen a documentary years ago where in China, not China, Japan, there's a car that sells here for like 200,000 or more. I can't remember what it was, but over in Japan, it's like $1,000,000 yen, which equals out to like $10,000 or $15,000 here, and you can buy it for that over there.
Now there are some little stipulations of that, like your Ferrari and stuff like that are a little less expensive in their home country. Just like a Corvette over there is a little more expensive because you have import and export fees.
Mhm.
It does happen, but yeah, it gets extreme like that.
See, and also I don't feel like I should be being rewarded for the stuff that I'm buying.
Right, that's true.
And,
No,
the
but-
stuff that I'm buying is it's not conducive to a healthy diet, so it's not something I should be rewarded for.
Well, the only thing I like my
Totally against the
reward
idea of
points from
rewards.
Kroger for is when I go to buy gas.
Mm.
That's the only thing I like about the card because I usually get 25 cents off a gallon because of buying groceries every week.
But then this happened like earlier this week with me and my girl. Is that okay? We have we have the Speedway card, right?
Yeah, I have
Okay,
one.
well now
Love
Speedway apparently has an app that they want you to download to your phone too. I was like, my God, how much stuff do they need?
Right.
And we actually got into an argument about this. It's like, why can't they choose one or the other? Have the card or the app. I don't need both.
Well, I think it's a case of they're still using the card because not everyone's going to switch over to the app right away. But I think they're basically leaning towards eventually just trying to get it to be the app.
See, and that's what they need to do. If they need to do anything, stop with the cards or the app. Either one. Pick one. Oh, something fell in the background there. I think it's okay.
It's okay, bud.
Somebody got offended by my Speedway comment. He passed out.
Who was it?
The dogs just really want attention today,
I don't
so.
know. He was wearing a Speedway jacket then.
Speedway West.
Oh man.
Get your shit together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, we are about coming to the close of our episode today.
Oh, we are.
Yeah.
We can always do
We
another
got
one.
about 2 minutes, something like that. We try to stick
Okay.
around an hour, give or take. Sometimes we end up going a little over.
Is this the part where I get to plug stuff?
Yeah, go ahead, plug
Go right
away.
ahead. Let's get it.
Okay, well, the second season of Bagged and Board, which is online now at youtube.com, the first episode is already up online. The second episode is going to be premiering over at Zanzibar on January 26th. The reason I bring up Bagged and Board is because not only is it a brilliant web series that is produced in Louisville by Pixel Brain Productions, I'm actually in just like a few episodes. I'm more of a bit part player, but I'm kind of in episodes here and there. So be sure to check out Bagged and Board. You can look that up on YouTube. Um, Pixel Brain Productions. Season 1 is already up and running. All seven, 8 episodes of that, and then there's season 2, which second episode is on the way. So there's that, and then there's also I believe I'm going to be hosting over Jimmy Can't Dance for Zuzu Yaya on Thursday. They are another local band with Derek Wade Manley, who's the former frontman of the Bottom Stop, and they are going to be performing that night. And then coming up in February, there is the sketch variety series called Sketchy Stuff, and I have a sketch that was actually selected to be performed during that. So that show's coming up in February. So
That sounds
Awesome,
cool.
awesome. Heck yeah. Oh man.
just keep your ear on that radio dial, because maybe you'll hear some of us who are former WCHQ staff popping up in other places. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it's been really great having you here. Honestly, it's been a great conversation. Oh man! But once again, if you like what we're putting out, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and
Dang.
let all your friends know.
We're
It's
over here.
hold on. It's that way. Actually,
that way.
that way. All right, right there. That little subscribe, that notification bell, and actually, I got a thing where it pops up right here in the middle, right here.
Right over my face here is
Oh,
click my face for subscribe.
oh man! And I hope you enjoyed your time with us, man. Y'all have a great day.
Peace.
Bye.